So, hello everyone. Welcome to Spiritism at Noon. Today we are going to be reading and commenting from the book Living Spring by the Spirit Emmanuel, and with the through the psychography of Xavier. And the lesson we have chosen today and that we are going to be sharing with you now is lesson 43. So I will ask
Yes.
perhaps Phil if we could read a few paragraphs for us and then we stop to commenting. Um,
Sure. Speech and soundness of speech that cannot be condemned, so that those who oppose you may be ashamed because they have nothing bad to say about us. Paul Titus 2:8. Through speech, a man helps or causes hardships to himself, even if our intimacy remains clouded with problems. Our words should not become turbid or unbalanced to others. Each one has his enigma, his need, and pain, and it is not fair to increase the afflictions of the neighbors with the burden of our restlessness. The expression of the complaint discourages, the rough verb whips, the slanderous remark confesses. By our ill conducted manifestation regarding the mistakes of others, we keep the truth away from us. By our less noble verbal expression, we thrust away the blessing of love that would fill us with the satisfaction of living. I need the screen raised because I can't see the
yeah.
rest of the writing. Let us have the necessary courage to eliminate by ourselves the rays of our uncontrolled feelings and desires.
Okay, let's stop here. Okay, that's very interesting
Yeah.
talk. I think actually I was thinking about the holidays.
Oh,
when when the word speech came, thinking that it's very appropriate for uh, us in our relationship. Normally during the holidays is when we have those gatherings, family gatherings, professional gatherings, when we are going to manifest or not anything in terms of, wishing happy holidays to our friends and colleagues and family. And this way that Paul says here, in terms of us being very mindful of our words and the way we behave, because this is one thing that we have to understand. Um, our goal is to behave in a way that we truly are. Okay, we know that because of the laws of society, the polishing education that we can have, we can fake certain behaviors, but the goal is I'm going to be what I really am in terms of improving myself. And this is when he says that we may become someone that people will say, I have nothing bad to say about this person. Can you imagine that? When we get there, right? Wow, right? Uh, it's please feel free to jump in at any time. It's a very informal, conversation today about this topic. But I was thinking about how much trouble we cause to ourselves, and just because we cannot keep our mouth shut. And one of the great phrases that came to my mind from someone that I admire so much, with Abraham Lincoln, is one that I very often mention this phrase from him, that it's better to keep silence and people think that you are stupid than opening your mouth and removing all doubt. Right?
Yes,
That's why some of us don't say much.
Yeah,
yes, that's
right. And some of us are always so opinionated, right? We always have something to say about it, even when we do not know anything about it or we have no knowledge whatsoever to comment. Marcel, you want to say something?
I'm always saying something. I need to learn more with Abraham Lincoln.
Lusada, I think that when we say we put, like they say, you put your foot in your mouth. It's
Yeah,
another way of saying it that, you really trying your best to say the right thing, but it just doesn't come out right. So what is it that we do? We keep shut, not say nothing at all. Like Bambi says, if you remember, Bambi says, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all.
yeah,
So, so it's very difficult when you're trying to help. I think the majority of us are trying to help, but we just don't know how to go about it.
yeah,
And we hurt the person instead of helping, and then you get into discussions of not understanding each other, hurt each other, say the wrong things. It
mm,
just says here, but I guess you would just have to grow a little more, study a little more, be patient, use all the virtues, be patient, be indulgent. So
yeah,
difficult.
sure. It's right. I think, one thing is we can control what we do, but we cannot control what others are going to do.
Yeah.
Right? This is the situation. So when a challenge arises, um, like we were saying, in a gathering, a conversation, family gathering, or you know, uh, a meeting in your office, whatever it is. It doesn't mean that if someone brings something that can cause dissension, that can be a topic for heated discussion, that we should engage. And I mean, there is nothing bad on the contrary, in us keeping silent. Actually, last week I lived the situation. We were having a group meeting. We were like 30 people, and then one of them brought a very sensitive subject that could have transformed the whole meeting into something else,
Mm,
and being very, very bad.
yes.
I felt that because, it's hard because if someone voices something that it shows your discontentment, you feel like obliged to say something.
Yes.
But I
Yes.
don't know what happened. And it was my position first to say something, before the others. So I don't know what happened. I decided just to keep my mouth shut.
Mm,
Like, not even saying, okay, I acknowledge nothing, just not even nodding, nothing. I, you know, I just stay quiet and silence. And
yes.
everyone did the same. And so in 30 seconds, it was over. And we just move it to the next subject. Like it didn't happen, you know? And I think it was the first time in my life that I experienced that no one, I mean, we were 30 people, that there was a lot of people that could have said something. Um, and, uh, and then we could continue with harmony. And I said,
Uh,
oh my God, I was so surprised. And you see,
so,
it's in our power. Maybe even if I didn't say anything, someone could have said something. But then
mhm,
it doesn't mean that we all have to say something or go and engage into that. Someone has to keep things into place.
Keep peace.
So I think when we are in situations like, where we cannot avoid, right, and the conversation or the discussions are going and everything, we just keep quiet. And if someone asks you, don't you have anything to say? You just say no.
But Josiah, I'm talking this today with my friends. It's about this, our message from today. It's about this being yourself, and not being mad with the others, but respecting yourself. So I have a problem with this. I will
Yeah.
give an example that I think everyone is passing through this. Well, not everyone, maybe Josiah. We are going to Brazil during Christmas, and everyone starts asking me something, material things. And I bought presents, gifts for them, but now they start asking me things. And my brother's asking me an iPhone. My sister-in-law asked me, I don't know, things from things like bathroom things, or hair things. And I, Marceli, doesn't agree with this, because I never ask this kind of things for the others, because I don't want to bother
Yeah.
others. And I don't want to get, and I need to buy, I need to go out to buy, and I don't want to do this. But I'm thinking, but I will cause bad feelings from these people. You know what I'm trying to say? It's hard to be yourself and maintain a good relationship with others, because sometimes you need to do what the others want to. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't know what to do. I don't want to take, because I don't have this time, because I bought other things, because I don't have so much money, to buy
So
a.
could I ask a question, Marcella? They're
Yeah.
are they asking for what they want for Christmas for the holiday? Is that what they were asking for?
No, actually, I bought things that I thought in my mind, things that I
They
think
would like.
they would
Okay.
like. But
Okay.
now I will go Monday.
Oh,
Today, yesterday, they start asking me other things.
oh my God.
Like laundry pots, because they think it's better from the America than the Brazilian. Uh, just kind of things, hair products. I know that here is cheaper, but I'm thinking I don't want to take. I'm a bad person, you know.
Oh no. Uh,
Not that she has to pay for that. They are asking her to buy for them, and they
No,
are.
no, no. I need to pay for that. They will
No,
never pay.
oh.
no, no,
No, this is the
Oh,
problem.
that's what
no.
I'm
No,
saying. This is crazy. Oh
no,
my goodness.
if they pay, if they buy from Amazon, bring at my home, I don't care. I can bring them. But I need to go buy and pay.
No, exactly. It's not your first rodeo, right? You live abroad already. Of course, it's not. It was not the U.S., which is much easier, right? I mean, really, we have great products here, but I think you have to say no. You have to say
Yes.
that I'm taking presents for my kids because they are going to spend Christmas there. I'm taking presents to all of you. I'm already on the top of limit of things that I can bring.
Hi.
Uh, and
You know,
even and then you say, even if you pay, I cannot. Okay,
Yeah.
because otherwise, this is when here, there is a difference. Coming back to the lesson, there is a difference in us being hurtful uh, and actually being reasonable, right?
Right.
I mean, and saying things that, of course, they would love you to, bring to me, buy to me, and pay for me. Who doesn't want that? But you have to say, I'm sorry, do you think that I'm made of money? And
I
I think
think
sometimes even if you say that, listen, even if you pay, I don't have the condition to buy. The luggage is overweighted already.
yes,
Nice.
but I'm talking to this my friends that that we are used to say the label of good girl.
Yeah.
This label. I'm a good person. I always do the things, the right things. The people like me, but the question that this book brings, I'm doing things for myself. I'm happy, but it's a boundary so of thing to cross. I want to be a good person because I know that no, but I want to be happy too. It's kind of for
Mhm.
me it's difficult to say no because I use it to say yes because I learned that I always need to say yes. So it's
Mm.
kind of therapy, a lot of therapy years for me.
I think you have to set some boundaries. And you know
Yes.
what is
Yes.
worse, Zoraida? Is
Yeah.
that many times not only has she has to buy the things, go after, the store, go in the store and buy the things, pay with her own money, carry them in her luggage,
Oh,
arrive there, and then people will ask her to bring the things to their home.
oh
Many
my God.
times,
It's
that's
crazy.
what it happened before. Maybe not, I don't know if it happens with you, but they say, "Oh, when you come visit me, bring to me my stuff." They don't
Oh,
even go to you,
Yeah.
and you are the one that has to get into the trouble to take the things to them. I
mm,
think you have to set some boundaries, like
yes,
maybe you can
yes.
start by saying, "Listen, next year I bring one thing, you choose carefully. I will bring one thing to each one of you that doesn't cost more than $100."
Yeah.
Okay, let's say, or even less, or 50.
Yes.
Oh my God. It,
Because 100 is too much. Imagine I need
yes,
to
that's a
pay
lot
for
of money. A
each
hundred
one of
dollars
the
each.
family.
No,
A lot
no.
of people.
You know what? I'm looking at that. You look at children, children are the one who can come to you and tell you, oh, I want this, oh, I want that, oh, I want this, mommy, I want that. Those are children. And you could understand this is what they go through when the holidays come and Christmas and all this is all. But when I don't understand, these are adults.
Yes,
I
this is
mean,
the question.
You're
it-
making a mistake.
they're
Ah,
not.
you said everything. You're making a mistake because
These are not adults. These
No,
are
there, but
people.
this is what I'm saying. How could it be? I mean, at this, I don't understand how they thinking that
It's
you're
very
a
simple.
mother and you have
You live
children of
in
your
America.
own.
You're
No
rich.
consideration. My goodness, this is insane. Is
Yes,
it insane?
sorry to do this mess, Sarah, but I'm
No, no,
thinking
no.
about
I'm glad
this.
you said that. I'm glad you explained it. That you
Yes,
know.
I'm trying to connect with the lesson, because
Mhm.
I think we sometimes we need to speak, we need to say something, but
Oh,
maybe with the words, using words more,
yes,
So
just
soft.
like Sarah said, you talk to me, Tom. No, that.
listen, this is not a unique problem for where you come from.
Oh,
We
wow.
have so we have so many people here who have expectations that have nothing to do with their rights or the rights of others.
Right.
I was in this grocery store, not in the grocery store, the drugstore, about an hour ago. And as I was talking to an agent to try and find something, some guy took a gallon of milk and just threw it on the floor and broke it and walked away.
Wow.
Now tell me, is he stable?
No, no.
And this, unfortunately, is what happens with us, especially in holiday time. Everybody wants something and they look at someone else and say, you're rich. therefore.
Yes, exactly. The comparison, you know. But because of this, sometimes Christmas is hard for me because for me should be some moment, magical moment, because Jesus was born, not because material things. But
Right.
but you know, the society transformed, the culture transformed. This is a commercial moment. Everyone just want gifts, just want to buy, 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 buy. Lines inside the stores. So I try to reconnect. I always try to say to my kids, look, remember why we are celebrating this moment? Because Jesus came to this planet to
Exactly.
so I always try to connect with the things that I really believe. But it's hard because the family is in this other place about the commercial things. But it's okay. I think we continue bringing this for the kids, and maybe one day we can change all this mind of the family.
Yeah, but you see, it starts with us and it starts now.
Yes.
If we keep indulging, I mean, not only we are not changing anything, but we are giving the example of, this is the way it has to be. So, and it becomes even a family memory. I remember, people, your children will say, "Oh, I remember in the past how my mom used to do that," or our packages were always blue with a red lace or something. It becomes like a happy memory, and they continue doing that not only because of the presence, but because of how it was happy. But I think in relation to the other thing that we were saying, it's you have to come to a point that you have to say, listen, I cannot.
Yes,
I,
it's a
I
process.
All
it's
right. Straight to the point. I can't afford it. I can't do it. Okay.
yes.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I can't afford it. Or maybe even saying that I can afford it. If you want to
right.
buy for it, um, you go to Amazon and
Yeah,
send it home, and I'll bring it to you. I'll deliver it to you.
I said to my brother, say, oh, buy the iPhone and I can take it. I don't know. I think I can't. No, you can do.
Mhm.
Okay, so coming back to here, we saw that because it's not just about harsh words that can come out of our mind, but our mouths, but any kind of words that can be of discouragement as well. So this is what the Emmanuel is talking about here. There are words that are going to hurt. There are words that are going to kill our hopes. There are words that are going to put us down. So I mean, and many of them are completely unnecessary, right? And it's interesting because even when we read this book, I think that Emmanuel can say so much with so little words, few words, and then you say, "Oh my God!" You read a sentence, and it has so much already, and how powerful it is, our way of communicating. I was just remembering about that fable from Aesopus. It was a Greek philosopher, but he worked in a house of a very powerful man, and there is this fable that he wrote that is about the tongue, and it says that um, his boss, right, his this lord came to him and asked him to go to the market and buy the most savory, the most important or meat he could find, because he was going to be having guests, and he wanted to serve the best meat in the market. And so it says that in the day of the banquet, he came and he served, and what the employee served was tongue. And then he said, "Oh my God, why did you choose tongue?" Right, the tongue. And he said, "Well, because the tongue is the most remarkable meat we have, because it can build kingdoms, it can build hopes, it can help others, and this and that." And then he said, "Well, now I'm going to put you to a test. I want you to go there and buy the worst one that you can find." And then the following day, he comes back with the tongue. And then he says, "But tongue again?" And he says, "Yes, because the tongue is the one that can provoke wars, that can destroy everything." So this is, the tongue is just an organ, an instrument that we have that represents our speech. And like you said, Soraya, it's not about what comes into our our mouth, but what comes out from that, like Jesus said, right?
Yes.
And that represents our intentions, represents our emotions, right? So let's read the rest of the lesson, please, Philip.
I'm sorry, where did we stop?
The word is a channel.
Word.
Okay, the word is a channel of the self. By the valve of the tongue, our passions explode and our virtues expand. Each time we manifest the vocabulary that is peculiar to us, we spread forces that destroy or build, undermine or restore, hurt or soothe. Language, in our view, consists of three essential elements: expression, manner, voice. If we do not clarify the sentence, if we do not perfect the manner, and do not educate the voice according to the situations, we are likely to lose our best opportunities for amelioration, understanding, and elevation. Paul of Tarsus provides the appropriate recipe for the apprentices of the gospel: neither too sweet nor too bitter, neither too soft, chasing away confidence, nor harsh or blunt, breaking sympathy, but sound and irreproachable language for the opponent to be ashamed of, having no harm to say about us.
Okay, so as it says here, it is a representation of the self, like what we were talking about before. It's who I am. Sometimes it doesn't matter how much we try to be nice, because it doesn't can't come naturally, is not part of us. We cannot disguise our emotions, the emotions that are behind those words. Let's say, like here he's talking about this expression, manner, and voice. We have all those examples of people that say, "Oh, you have to say that I'm sorry, that you are sorry," and then, like, recognize that you did something bad. You can be even a child or a teenager, or even an adult, and then the person says, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
It's what Emmanuel is saying here. You have to clarify the sentence. We have to understand that not always we are that good in articulating our thoughts. And we want people to understand what we are trying to say, but they
Mhm.
cannot, because we are not using, especially for us that have to use different different language. Sometimes we do not choose the best vocabulary. It's not just about just grammar, but sometimes the best words that would really depict what we wanted to be saying. The manner, there is so much about body language.
Mhm.
there are people that are saying, okay, I'll give to you, and their hands are doing that, like I'm keeping to me.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, it's not that ostensive, but somehow you can feel in the way that they are expressing, like I'm saying, okay, I'm sorry, but I have a sarcastic smile in my face. And okay, the words mean one thing, the sarcastic smile means something else, and the tone of voice. Sometimes there are people, I say, sometimes there are people that I don't know if they are saying I love you or I hate you. Because if I remove the words, uh, it will be the opposite of what they are trying to say. Uh, right? And so this is why it's not so simple. And this is the reason why, until we get there in terms of really being able to express our emotions because they are going to be pure, we are going to have this problem in terms of communication. And
Yeah.
sometimes this is the reason why it's better not to communicate. It's
Mhm.
better just to be quiet and avoid a circumstance that you wouldn't like to get there in the first place. Yes, Marcelle?
No, this has happened with the message that you write, right? Sometimes I receive some message and this is rude, I think, but it's just a word. like like when they asked me about the gifts, I said, okay, I think I'm trying to say I didn't like. I don't want to to bring, and I wrote okay. So sometimes the message you can interpret it badly, or so Emmanuel here is talking just about the oral words, right? But nowadays we have this other problem that is messages, writing messages that sometimes is bad interpreted too.
Yeah, because each one, it's like, this is what I say. We can control,
Mhm.
or I mean, we can be aware, because sometimes not even control, right? We can be aware of what we want to express. But how the other understands,
Other
especially if it's written message, for whatever reason, that is has nothing to do with you. You write something to a person that is having a bad day. The person may read that note in a bad connotation without it having a hint of any bad connotation. It's just because the way I read it is, it steered something else that the person is, let's say that you write something like, oh, let's talk so that let's arrange a call because I would like to talk to you about some things that I think it's important. Oh, great. Oh my God, I'm going to participate and do something. But if the person is not in a good mood, you can say, oh my God, it's going to trouble me again. It's always about me, 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 me. It's, it's something that she thinks it's important. It's not important to me. You see, depending on the humor of the person, we can take a totally different turn. And that's why we have to be very careful and as much as possible, very clear in our way of communicating. And of course, this means that when we are unbalanced, like Philip was saying, not in our right mind, we should just stay home and not do anything. Not
I think
say,
the words are keep your mouth shut.
yes, right, because that's
It just
yeah.
doesn't go through. It's just
Mhm.
how many times we have to say it. It's so hard. You
Yeah.
try your best. and it just doesn't come through. And we continue to do the same uh, mistakes. But I think that if the person truly is a honest and good human being, and sometimes we don't do it right, it's okay. And I love the way they say there, the expression and the manner and the voice is so important. It's so
Mhm.
important. You know, you can say just a simple word, no. You can say with domination and with no. And then you could say, no, no, I can't. There's a different way of expressing yourself. And understand, you have to really understand the person. If it's
Mhm.
family, then we learn how to deal with them. You know, you might say one to one a no, and in a very harsh way, and that person will say, okay, no problem. The other one you will say no, will take it like to the extreme. So it's so difficult. We have to understand each other and be patient and try with everything that we can, the way we say it, the manner, the way we say it. It's very, very important. That helps us to get along, especially with family and loved ones, especially now with these beautiful days that are coming. We're celebrating Jesus's birth. My God, we have to be so open and kind, you know, especially if we think of who is celebrating Jesus. And he's taught us so much, and yet, oh, we need more centuries.
It's not what we're taught, it's what we've learned.
Yes, it's so difficult, but not
But
impossible.
this is about, it's a learning process. Okay, and I mean, we have to do it. We have to start that. And um, and it's only by doing it, but and remembering always, it's never not it's never too much to act with kindness,
Yeah.
right? Like you were saying, Soraya, I can say no with kindness.
Mhm.
um, you know, if the other person doesn't want to hear that, no one likes to hear a no, right? But sometimes it's what we have to do. It's especially, when we're talking about educating children, it's a process of education as well.
Mhm.
So, and sometimes we have to say no to ourselves, to our whims as well, right?
Yes.
No, it's enough, right? And I think this is that's why I thought it was a very appropriate lesson, because this is a very trying month and occasion. All right, very trying month and occasion. And I hope that if circumstances arise, we will remember this day and this lesson 43 of Living Spring, that we have to talk about speech, and that we talked about speech and the way we are going to be using our words. Of course, here we are not even going and, using mm, mm, uh, bad vocabulary, using, saying bad words and curse, and we are not even getting there. Okay, we just saying exactly the way that we express, and that we say things, and always remembering that sometimes we say, oh no, for the purpose of being truth, I had to say exactly what I'm feeling, so that person cook the whole day for you, and you say, yeah, last year your meal was better. Oh, come on.
Oh my
I spent
God.
hours in the kitchen, and you're going to tell me that. Okay, it's good to know. So next year, I'm not going to invite you anymore, right?
God.
Or maybe, you're getting old, older, and you don't taste food the same way you used to taste, right? The
That
program.
only comes from
Sorry.
that only comes from family when they say, "Oh, but I like it this way." Never mind, you didn't tell me what you wanted.
Right.
You know,
So,
this book, Jasara, brought me just something that I try to doing now. He's he's saying that you need to um, uh, think about the imagine that I will go to see all this family during the Christmas, and what comes in your emotions. So emotion that you live it, you feel something bad, thoughts bad. So he's saying that you need to imagine it, good things, because you are projecting the future.
Right,
So you are changing the memories, changing the emotions, and he's saying that you is more able to do that. This when you encountered all these people, you imagined it before, good things. So it's
right,
more probably that you do this that you imagine. Or if you imagine, oh, you'll be bad, you'll be bad, you'll be bad. Of course,
right.
it will be
And
bad because you mentalize that it will be bad, that the sentiments are bad. So he's saying that we need to, you know, try to prevent the future, but in a good way. Try to remember the good things of all these people, focus in the good things and not in the bad things. So it's more possible that it will be better than you are just focusing the past or bad things that you're imagining. So I'm trying to do this. Will be good. I will do things that I like. So this kind of uh,
right,
work
right.
my mind, because when I was there, I was prepared with good feelings. I don't know if it will will happen, but I'm trying.
Yeah, but this is exactly what we learn in terms of spiritism, in the sense that I bring um, I bring the energy with me.
Exactly.
And so when it's like, instead of being dressed with light, we come dressed in dark, in a cloud. And
Mm,
already when people see us, with the energy eyes, with the spirit eyes, they jump back, right? And so this is exactly what we are talking about here. We oh, is not as so much as changing beforehand the energy that is going to be there, but it's the energy that we are going to be presenting ourselves, and which actually inhibits uh, other kinds of manifestation of energy. So when there is too much light radiating, the dark cannot penetrate unless we allow it. And so we have a very important participation in this sense of understanding that it is our obligation to do that as well, to
mm,
yeah.
yeah. I
So
mean, you're so true that uh,
mm,
the learning that we've gotten from Spiritism, oh my God, there are no words to say that after so many years that I actually can see myself changing. I am not the same person I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 50. I am not. I see it. I feel it. Because when I'm with now next week they're gonna start one of the nieces are gonna invite us, wants us to come to her home. She's gonna do dinner, start celebrating and that. And there are a lot of us. And and she's learned so yeah, I think you know who I'm talking about, Edie. Do you remember
yes,
Edie?
yes. Mhm.
Well, she wants to do a big thing, and we said, okay, sure. And what she's gonna do, and she's asking what would we like for food, and just the atmosphere and the way she's saying things and expressing herself and telling us this is so impressive. You can see the change of attitude, and hopefully we will all respect what she wants us to bring or what to do. And but we have to prepare ourselves, and this is what Spiritism have taught us: to be kind, to be patient, And it has come to a point that I am so grateful. I am
Mm.
so grateful that I I have this in my heart, and it's now it's becoming easier. It becomes a little easier. You don't get so upset. You understand what's coming sometimes, and you prepare yourself. And most important, we pray. Pray constantly for help and guidance. But without this, I don't know what I would have been. I would have been a nutcase. And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for that. And I hear you speak, and I'm saying, my God, it continues, and I thank God for all that 1,000 times, I think. So it's just a matter of time, of learning, being patient, and taking all that you can in your heart, and become the best that you can become. Like Marceli, you worried about, you're a beautiful person.